Welcome to Quigley Stadium, Robert Greenwood Memorial Field for today's CIAC Class L baseball tournament first round game between Notre Dame, the 11th seed at 13-7, and Platt Tech, the 22 seed, comes into today with a 10-10 record. If you're expecting the golden pipes of Don Boyle, he is comfortably relaxing in North Carolina for his son's wedding this upcoming weekend. Thanks for joining us here on GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, along with several others, putting this webcast today for you. Angelo Genovese leads off with a sharp single to right field off Notre Dame starter Greg Zullo. So Platt Tech, 2 pitches into the game, has a runner on first with nobody out. And stepping to the plate is number 17, right fielder Jim Corey. Junior. Zullo. Cursory throw over to first. Set the defense for you. Greg Zullo was on the mound. Zach Balaban is catching. Infield left to right. Mike Levine, Zach Ardito, Wes Paulson, and Brandon Wynn. Pitches thrown and foul ball to right field. Outfield, Mark Corso, Griffin Garabedian, and Drew Archiolo are the Notre Dame 9 this afternoon. Here again, first round tournament action, CIAC Class L. First round game, Notre Dame and Platt Tech. Zullo, breaking ball. That one's over, quickly ahead of Corey, 0-2. Great crew with us here today. Mike Lano, graduated a couple years ago, along with Mike Curris, Danny Alvarado, and Andrew Danik bringing you today's game. Hoping to get a microphone for Coach Marcucci to my right in a little bit to help with today's GoGreenKnights.com webcast. And a bunt down the first base line by Corey. Fielded by Wynn. He will take it himself to the base, but that moves Genovese into scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the first for Platt Tech. Goes down 3 unassisted. First out of the game. Genovese now at second. Step into the box will be Platt Tech's pitcher, Mike Raccio. He is a senior right-hander. Number 13. Platt Tech out of the Constitution State Tech School Conference. Come into today's record with a 10-10 record. Zullo, fastball just outside, 1-0 count. Notre Dame out of the Southern Connecticut Conference, the 11th seed with a 13-7 mark. Fell to Fairfield Prep a week ago today in the first round of the SEC tournament, which actually wound up being the only games played in the SEC tournament. Rain throughout the area caused the cancellation of the semifinals on Thursday. They were moved to Saturday. They never got played as rain stayed in the area. Zullo paints the outside corner there with the fastball. Count now 2-1. Saturday was a rainy day, cold day here in New England area, wherever you are at GoGreenKnights.com. Semifinals were not played. So Notre Dame coming off a week off. Zullo takes a look at Genovese down at second, steps off. Everyone will reset. Zullo in the stretch. Fires, swung on and missed by Raccio. Evens the count at 2-2. Genovese led off with a single to right. Moved to second on a sacrifice bunt by Corey. Zullo goes to the curveball. Couldn't get it to twist. And the count will now be full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Platt Tech's number 3 hitter, Mike Raccio. Platt Tech looking to get on the board first here in the top of the first in a rainy Quigley Stadium. Ground ball into third, short hole. Fielded, thrown over to first. Nicely done by freshman Zach Ardito. That will, however, move Genovese over to third, but it was a productive out by Raccio. 6-3 if you're scoring at home. Nice play by Ardito to go into the shortstop hole. Good strong throw over to Wynn for the second out of the inning. But that does put a little bit of pressure on catcher Zach Balaban, as now Genovese who led off with a single, now 90 feet away for Platt Tech. In steps number 4 hitter Todd Petrucci, tall first baseman. Takes a look at strike 1. Zullo going from the windup. Takes a quick look over at Genovese. Fires in, and Petrucci swings through that one, and Zullo quickly ahead, 0-2. It's been raining since about 2:30 here in the West Haven area. As Zullo handcuffs Petrucci, saws it off to the right. Count's going to remain 0-2. We've had to go to a one-camera shoot here in the press box. Petrucci swings through a high fastball, strands Genovese at third, and Platt Tech will not score on one hit in the top of the first. We'll be back for Notre Dame's first at-bat. You're watching Notre Dame State Tournament Playoff Baseball right here on GoGreenKnights.com.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at milfordpodiatry.com.
Oyster River Petroleum, proud sponsor of high school athletics right here on SportingNewsCT.com. If you're looking for good old-fashioned customer service, call Oyster River Petroleum and the Granfield family. They've been around since 1987.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Playoff baseball, Class L tournament first round game. Platt Tech and Notre Dame. Platt Tech Panthers got a runner to third, but could not score in the top of the first. Notre Dame for their first at-bat. Proud to bring in athletic director, former baseball coach, my baseball coach, Tom Marcucci. Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Good to be here, Steve. I just hope this weather holds up.
Little rain out there, a little bit of a nuisance. You're a former coach. What does the weather do? Is it a little bit of an equalizer, or is that something you worry yourself about, or you just play the game like normal?
Well, you can't worry once you start, you know. I mean, it's difficult. It was sprinkling before. Most of the area games have started. Amity and West Haven started. You'll just have to see what happens, but you always concern yourself with your pitching and that type of thing. So
Archiolo tries to lay down a bunt, but pops it up to third baseman Steve Clark makes the play, so one quick out for Notre Dame here in the top of the first. Archiolo trying to use his speed there, but couldn't get the butt on the ground, and Clark with a good jump makes the play. That steps in Griffin Garabedian.
Good to see Griff back after missed most of the season. He's a key guy in our lineup.
Had a great run as a sophomore, played all the time as a junior, had a great summer, going to go to UConn and play, but then sprained his ankle. Last game of the preseason, if I remember right, Coach.
Yeah, he got hit with a pitch, actually, and had a slight crack in his femur, and he struggled hard to get back into action.
So he tried to come back down at Fairfield Prep and re-injured himself, so good to see him back for sure. As he looks at a ball up high, 2-1 count on Garabedian.
Key in a day like today is to get a jump, get a lead, take the little pressure off.
Looks at a fastball right down the middle there. We'll even the count at 2-2. As you said, easy to play from ahead, especially in elimination games. Green Knights, the home team. They do have the last at-bat if needed. Raccio delivers. Garabedian fouls off a pretty good pitch on the outside corner there. Count remains at 2-2. Coach, you go through a long season and you play 20, 21 games, but now you get into one and done. Do you kind of, from the coaching perspective, do you treat it like any other game?
Well, you should. I usually had a problem with it, and you know, it's a lot of pressure. That first game is a lot of pressure on you, especially if you're the favorite. Baseball's a tough game, and you know, guy on the mound is a great equalizer.
And we've talked about this many times, but you kind of think baseball is the toughest state championship to win.
I do. I think it is. You know, you got to win 5 games, and you know, you got teams with 40% in, and anybody could win, depending on the day. It's one of those games that you could hit, you know, 21 line drives and be out, and hit 21 bloopers and win. So it's a little difficult.
Into the box steps Greg Zulo, Notre Dame's other senior co-captain. He missed a bunch of the year as well with a hamstring injury. Came back late in the regular season, pitched in a game against Wilbur Cross, I believe, and then in the Fairfield prep game. So Notre Dame's ace is back. So you got to give this team a lot of credit. 13-7 with, you know, without your 2 captains for basically the majority of the year.
Well, I think they should get a lot of credit to take 2 top hitters out of any high school lineup. You're going to make it very difficult, and our guys rose to the occasion. We got good pitching. The other guys stepped in and played well, and now we get these guys back. I think it's a good sign for us. But you're right. Our guys that were playing did a great job.
Zulo takes a strike there. That doesn't even count. Makes it 3-1. Zulo headed to Stonehill. Last week at the Athletic Awards banquet was named Notre Dame's Athlete of the Year. Rips one up the middle there to center field, and a 2-out base hit by Zulo. And Coach, he's played in 4 state championship games, so he's got experience. So you'd expect him to rise to the occasion today.
Yeah, I do. He's a big game player. He's, like you said, he's been in 4 state championship games. He's got 2 rings, 1 in baseball, 1 in hockey, and yeah, he's a prime time kind of performer. So you saw it right there on that swing.
Started at third, and 2 years ago when Notre Dame, with a squeeze bunt, won the state championship. Won a hockey championship last year. Last go-around wearing the Notre Dame uniform, so like you mentioned, good for those seniors to get back in, especially come tournament time here. Brandon Wynn has a pretty good poke at a fastball by Raccio, fouls it back.
The other thing with the weather, with Greg's hamstring, he's got to be careful out there. You have a good surface out there right now. That's no problem, but he's got to be careful.
Those hamstrings are tough to come back from.
Sure are.
I think we got a broken bat and maybe a blooper that's going to fall, but no, caught by right fielder Jim Curry, and Notre Dame will go down. A 2-out single by Zulo. No damage, and we are through 1 here at Quigley Stadium. Notre Dame and Platt Tech are scoreless. Stay with us on GoGreenKnights.com.
Oyster River Petroleum, proud sponsor of high school athletics right here on SportingNewsCT.com. If you're looking for good old-fashioned customer service, call Oyster River Petroleum and the Granville family. They've been around since 19...
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Singaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at MilfordPodiatry.com.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci, and a cast of, I was going to say characters, but that wouldn't be right. Cast of great kids helping us put today's game for you. Notre Dame and Platt Tech in the Class L first round of the state tournament.
They are great kids, but they're also characters. There's nothing wrong with that.
Stepping in is Cutler Pineciero, the shortstop for Platt Tech. Of course, Platt Tech coached by George Baglini. Son Christian was a shortstop on Notre Dame's team a couple years ago.
Yeah, Christian actually played for Stonehill this year and had a couple of real good games. He's a real good player, great competitor.
Starting shortstop on a championship team. Scored the winning run on Griffin Garabedian's suicide squeeze up at Muzzy Field.
You still see it. It's a great play.
Zulo high. Ball count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zulo delivers.
Good foul. Greg looks like he's getting his rhythm out there.
So that was a pretty good breaking ball that Pineciero was able to just foul off. Count is now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball. Fisted off, back. Coach, you mentioned this, and I know it's a dear memory for you, but you mentioned how you can run into the wrong pitcher and you need a little luck. But when we made our state championship run in '85, I believe first round, we were in some trouble, if my memory serves me.
Right here, we're in trouble and against New Canaan. No, not New Canaan. I forgot who it was, but left fielder dropped the ball, and we won. We went on to win the whole thing, so yeah.
Now, that was a 7th inning, if memory serves me.
Yeah, maybe bottom of the 6th, but it was...
late in the game.
Yeah.
Need a little luck to make a run as well.
Yeah, that kind of goes to show you how tough baseball is. We could have been closed out the first game, yet we were good enough to win it.
Carbon copy of Genovesi's hit is Pineciero there just punching one into right field. Paulson made a good run at it, just bobbled it enough. He could have maybe thrown out Pineciero, but that's a clean single to right, so leadoff single just like Genovesi did in the first for Platt Tech. He wound up at third base before Zulo got Petrucci to strike out to end that threat. Let's see if Platt Tech goes back to the bunt as Steve Clark steps into the batter's box. They bunted in the first inning. Zulo throws over to first, seeing if Clark might give away a bunt play. Clark does not.
Looks like these Platt Tech hitters have a little difficulty getting around on Zulo. I'm sure our guys will start to shade him a little bit the other way.
They do try to go to the bunt. Wasn't a complete square sacrifice, but either way, fouled off back. Zulo gets ahead 0-1. Clark will be followed by Sean Clark, Rich Baxter, and Arcangelo Homar. And Zulo hits Clark. So that'll create a first and second situation. No outs here for Platt Tech here in the top of the second. Brings up designated hitter Sean Clark. If you're bunted before, I think you might be bunted again now. Notre Dame
No question.
Does a square, takes a fastball high. Notre Dame might change the butt defense. Obviously, you're going to go to first and get the sure out. Now with first and second, you may have the first baseman charge. Try to get it out at third if you can. Zulo in the stretch. Fastball that Sean Clark swings through. Evens the count at 1-1.
I have to guess that he gave him one chance to swing away. He's going to bunt right here. That's my guess.
Clark did look down at Coach Baglini for some signals. See if he squares here.
Hey,
go to second and picked him off. Zulo spins, finds Ardito breaking in, puts it on a dime, and just like that, Pineciero out at second, picked off.
That was a great play. The batter had squared, so took a lot of heat pressure off with that play.
First out of the inning changes things dramatically.
Except our first baseman isn't holding. There he goes. Not the coach from up here, I'm just saying.
Only about 500 games worth. They will try to bunt. Clark can't get that one down, as Levine and Wynn were both charging along with Zulo.
Difficult to figure out the strategy here, but coach knows what he's doing.
Situation like this with one out, I think you definitely want to get the out at first defensively.
No question. I think this kid's going to run. Maybe hit and run.
0-2 hold now. Able to hold off on the high fastball. Actually, it was a 1-2 count, so that evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes here in the top of the second. Scoreless, Platt Tech and Notre Dame. Steve Clark leads off first. Sean Clark looks at a fastball in the outside corner, called strike 3. So just a couple pitches ago, Platt Tech had first and second, nobody out. Pick off of Pinciero at second and a punch out of Sean Clark. Suddenly, Green Knights 1 out away from getting into the dugout. In steps number 3, Rich Baxter, right-hander. Looks at a fastball down the middle of the plate. Zulo ahead, 0-1. Outside, Balaban comes up throwing. 1 hops Wynn. Nice job on the short hop by Wynn to prevent that from going to right field. Steve Clark back safely. Pitch was outside, evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Zulo delivers. That one is high. Trying to look outside here. Looks like the rain has been steady from before. Hasn't changed much in terms of its how much is coming down. Baxter swings through that fastball. Count now 2-2. A lot of 2s on that board. Second inning, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Platt Tech with a runner on first, Steve Clark. He was hit by a pitch earlier. Zulo delivers. Baxter swings and misses.
Great job getting out of that inning. Great job.
First and second, nobody out. Zulo does the job, striking out the last 2. Notre Dame will be up for its second at-bat against Platt Tech's Mike Raccio, but right after these words from our GoGreenKnights.com sponsors, it's Notre Dame 0, Platt Tech 0. Keep it tuned right here.
Oyster River Petroleum, proud sponsor of high school athletics right here on SportingNewsCT.com. If you're looking for good old-fashioned customer service, call Oyster River Petroleum and the Granfield family. They've been around since 1987.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Oyster River Petroleum, proud sponsor of high school athletics.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, ND class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Coverage of Notre Dame baseball playoff version. CIAC Class L, first round. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci. Notre Dame with their second at-bat against Platt Tech's Mike Raccio. Fly ball to center. Carries pretty deep, but under it is Raul Robles makes the catch, and Mike Corso is retired on a fly ball to center. Corso's come on this year, Coach, has he not?
Yeah, he swings a very good bat. You know, he's got some surprising power for a sophomore, and I guess he's kind of settled into left field. He played some third base. This guy right here, Mike Levine, has really swung the bat well. I believe he's batting over 400.
Looks at a strike there by Raccio. Fist one up the middle. That's going to be a tough play. And Levine is going to beat that out. Raccio tried to one-hand it over the mound. Couldn't get it. Pinciero from the shortstop position fielded on the right side of second base. But really had no throw as the speedy Levine beats out an infield single there.
Definite base hit on that one.
In steps catcher, Zach Balaban.
Pete Eiler, the scoreboard operator, agrees with the base hit. So
Raccio throws over to first. Levine back safely. Balaban, another sophomore, getting a ton of varsity time this year. Pretty much been the starting catcher all year, correct?
pretty much. He played some first base when Wynn was out. He played some first base. I believe he DH'd him, but most of the time he's been behind the plate.
Raccio, third attempt over, keeping Levine close. Notre Dame started the inning with a Corso fly out to center. Levine, infield single. Now Balaban. Fastball outside. Count is 1-0. Of course, the winner of today's game will move on in the state tournament. The loser, unfortunately, the uniforms are going away. The winner will face the winner of Maloney and New Fairfield. Balaban pops that up right on the mound, and Raccio, literally 2 steps from where he threw the pitch, will corral that one in for the second out of the inning. Pop him up like that, just missed it. In will step Pat Bruno, senior, designated hitter. He's hitting for Wesley Paulson, who's playing second base defensively for the Green Knights. Another throw over by Raccio.
Yeah, Lino has been in and out of the lineup this year. He's an outfielder, and he's getting a chance to swing the bat today.
Another pop-up. This one looks to be playable as well. Foul territory, drifting out of play. Todd Petrucci, the first baseman, went over to the fence, but it fell behind the Platt Tech dugout. Bottom of the second, scoreless. Platt Tech and Notre Dame. CIAC Class L first round game. Platt Tech 10-10. 22 seed. Notre Dame is 13-7 in the number 11 seed. Of course, the lacrosse team is also an 11 seed. They're going to travel and play 6-seeded East Lyme tomorrow, 4 o'clock, in their first round of the Class M lacrosse tournament. Coach will talk about lacrosse next inning. Great year for Coach Bajoris and crew. Bruno fouls that one back quickly in an 0-2 hole.
He's getting a pretty good swing here. Hope he can put it in play. That's the key today. Put the ball in play.
Make them make some plays. Try to put some pressure on him. Of course, with 2 strikes, got to be a little more protective. Try to foul off that tough pitch. Hope the pitcher makes a mistake. Again, Raccio pays attention to Levine over at first. Levine's gotten that uniform dirty in his time over there after an infield single. Raccio delivers. High, stolen base, just in there is Levine. Good pitch to throw somebody out on, a high fastball, but Arcangelo Homar's throw to Pinciero was just late as Levine slid in just ahead of the throw. So now the Green Knights with their first runner in scoring position, looking for a 2-out single and maybe a lead by Bruno, but he is down 1-2.
Jeez. Oh, sorry.
Coach
Sorry.
tells you all you need to know. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. We are through 2 here at Quigley Stadium. Game is scoreless. Platt Tech and Notre Dame. We'll be back for the third inning right after some commercial sponsors on GoGreenKnights.com.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at milfordpodiatry.com.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com, coverage of Notre Dame baseball. Busy week for GoGreenKnights.com, busy week for Notre Dame in general. We've got today's baseball game for you. If the Green Knights are fortunate enough to advance, we are going to do everything in our power to bring you their second round game, wherever that might be. Of course, later in the week, highlight of the academic year, graduation. The baccalaureate liturgy will be on GoGreenKnights.com Saturday at 6 p.m. from St. Rita's Church. And then commencement exercises Sunday, June 2nd, starting just before 10 o'clock. All of your action right here on GoGreenKnights.com. Platt Tech starts the third with number 14, Arcangelo Homar, the catcher, trying to lay down a bunt. Zulo able to pick it up, underhand throw to win. Oh, easy out there for the Green Knights. Homar tried to bunt the first one. That was foul. Got the second one down, but couldn't get it past Zulo. Paulson was charging as well, but Zulo fielded the position well. Nice underhand toss to win, and 2 pitches, 1 out. As Platt Tech turns the lineup over, leadoff batter Angelo Genovese singled to right to lead off the first. Eventually wound his way to third, where he was stranded when Zulo struck out Petrucci to end the first. First pitch swinging. Pop fly. Does Balaban have some room? He does. Trips up there, maybe slips on the grass. Didn't have a good read on it through the raindrops. Ball falls harmlessly to the ground, so Genovese with a little bit of a second life. Coach, if you date back to last year at this time, Notre Dame, defending champion, you mentioned how tough it is to win. Ran up against a law pitcher who just shut us out for about 20 innings last year.
Shut us down, you know. We had a real good team last year, and he just came in strong and shut us down. It could happen.
The more this game remains scoreless, the one thing for your Notre Dame's perspective that you don't look forward to is Platt Tech gaining some confidence. Genovese offers at the curveball in the dirt. Zulo ahead 0-2. Platt Tech had a runner on in the first with Genovese. They had first and second, nobody out in the top of the second. But then Zulo picked off Pinciero. Struck out Clark and Baxter to end that threat. Zulo back to the curveball. Genovese swings through it. 4th strikeout of the game for Zulo. 2 down here in the top of the third. In steps right fielder Jim Corey. He had a sac bunt. 3 unassisted in the first. Fastball a little low and away. Count moves to 1-0. Zulo, a little bit of the same spot, still low and outside, 2-0. One thing I like about Zulo, quick worker. There is a little farther outside and a farther pitch, and goes to 3-0. Corey, I'm sure, will be looking at a pitch here. And Zulo bounces that one in, so a 4-pitch walk for Curry with 2 outs here in the third. Of course, that's a live ball. Balaban goes back, gets it. Zulo will restart here with a 2-out base runner in Corey, who just walked. Brings up number 3 hitter, starting pitcher Mike Raccio.
Good spot to run here. I'm not sure how the guy runs, but it's a good spot. 2 outs with the 3 hitter up. Try to get him in scoring position.
Worst case scenario, your number 3 hitter leads off the next inning, but first pitch swinging.
Oh,
High pop fly. And it falls between Balaban and Levine. That's the second one this inning that was not that far from home plate that wasn't caught. Genovese wound up striking out. Let's see if Zulo can get Raccio to get the Green Knights into the dugout and hitting. Still in a scoreless game here in the third inning.
That one there is definitely the third baseman's ball. Mike just overran it.
With the rain falling down, not easy to look up, but still a play you'd think you'd like to make. Sure, especially if you're head coach Lou Kessler. Don't want to give up the 3 hitter another chance. High. Count evens at 1-1. Surprised Raccio was swinging first pitch there? You mentioned the steal opportunity.
No, he's a 3 hitter. I expect to see some kind of hit and run, but again, I don't know Platt. Here it goes.
Raccio laces a single to center. Moving on the play was Corey, and he is going to come to third. Ball eludes Ardito on the relay. First to third action for Platt Tech here with 2 outs and a rally going. 2-out walk by Curry, and now he moves to third on the single by Raccio, and that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Todd Petrucci, who struck out swinging here in the top of the first. Another run situation with first and third as you see Balaban giving the defense some signals. Raccio on first, Corey on third. Platt Tech threatening here with 2 outs in the third to grab the lead. Zulo from the stretch. Fastball gets it by Petrucci.
Key is get this hitter. He has had a hard time getting around on Greg.
Coach Baglini is going to come down and give some words of advice to Petrucci. Balaban will go out and talk to Zulo. You want the pitcher and catcher on the same page. Baglini wanted to give Petrucci some words of advice. Raccio at first. See if he takes off. He does not. And that's a line drive up the middle, and Platt Tech will grab the lead. Petrucci singles. That'll score Curry from third. And Platt Tech, with 2-out rally here, has grabbed a 1-0 lead.
Goes back to that pop-up that we should have executed. You know, it's just high school baseball. That's what it's all about. Make the routine plays.
Give teams second chances. They tend to take advantage of it. And the pop fly that they couldn't catch on Raccio, that fell foul, he winds up singling. And now Petrucci follows with a single. First pitch swinging. Win off the bat of Pinciero, takes it unassisted. But on a walk and 2 hits by Raccio and Petrucci, the last being an RBI single that plates Jim Curry. Platt Tech has struck first with a run in the top of the third. Platt Tech 1, Notre Dame 0. We'll be back right after these messages from our proud GoGreenKnights.com sponsors.
Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor, you can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile. Considering an orthodontic treatment fee.
Good morning, Curtis Ryan. Congratulations.
Hi, Curtis Ryan. I just brought my new Honda in for the first free oil change, and they're even washing it. We got such a great deal on that car, and everyone here is so easy to work with. Thank you, Curtis Ryan.
For a limited time, your first month's payment is on us. Up to $500 on select 2012 models. Call Curtis Ryan in Shelton for details.
Welcome back. GoGreenKnights.com coverage of Notre Dame baseball. Platt Tech is struck first. 2-out rally in the top of the third. They lead Notre Dame 1-0. Step into the plate is freshman shortstop Zach Ardito. Looks at a ball inside. Coach, you know this from baseball. Important to answer Platt Tech here.
No question about it. Nice to get the first guy on and start to do something.
Put a little pressure on the defense, but Raccio answers with a fastball down the middle. Evens count at 1-1. Fastball high, moves the count 2-1. One thing you know in the first round, you're getting the other team's ace. They probably had a week or so off too, so you're getting everybody probably as healthy and as ready as you can. And Raccio's done a good job through the first 2 innings for Platt Tech. Ardito swings at that, fouls it off right. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Key is to hit the ball on the ground a day like today. Hit the ball down at the top of the baseball.
It'll scoot. Could hit the mud and stop. Did he go? No. Ardito able to hold off on that. Makes it a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Raccio on the mound with the payoff pitch. Strike 3 called. Ardito goes down looking to start the third. Back-to-back strikeouts as caught Lino Bruno looking to end the second with Mike Levine on second. So Notre Dame will turn the lineup over here in the third. Drew Archiolo, junior right fielder, step in. Also a football player for you, Coach.
Yeah, excellent football player. Got real good speed. He's had a good year baseball-wise.
Takes a fastball inside. Count is 1-0. Of course, Coach, from the baseball perspective, as you know better than anyone, coach most of these guys, but proud baseball tradition. But Notre Dame represented well in all 3 levels of the NCAA playoffs. Didn't take a look. I know Anthony Pizzani was playing for Southern Maine. As Archiolo takes the ball high.
Playing Southern Maine.
Yeah,
the guys have done well at the college level.
Eric Romano is
so many of them playing
for Franklin Pierce, who's in the Division II College World Series. And Josh McDonald is the University of Connecticut pitching coach who beat Notre Dame for the Big East Championship and will start play this weekend in the NCAA Division I tournament. So Green Knights at least represented well with one person in each of the NCAA championship levels. That's just the tip of the iceberg of college guys that have worn the green and gold uniform. 3-1 taken there was Archiolo. Raccio fires a strike down the middle. Green Knights looking for base runners. And they'll get one, courtesy of a 1-out walk by Archiolo.
Steve, I'm going to take your leave right now. I'm going to take a walk down there and
you got it.
See if the grounds crew has a rake. Starting to cover a little bit here.
Do what you need to do. Longtime Notre Dame head baseball coach, current football coach, current athletic director, Tom Marcucci, going to go check with the grounds crew to make sure that they can do what they need to do between innings. Again, we're here at Quigley Stadium, a rainy Quigley Stadium. Robert Greenwood Memorial Field. Notre Dame trying to get even. Archiolo steals second. The ball eludes Pinciero. And Archiolo, just like that, is going to move over to third. Catcher Arcangelo Homar's throw was left of second base. And Pinciero could not backhand it. And Archiolo, who got a pretty good jump and would have been safe, alertly popped up, made his way to third. So the Green Knights with the tie-in run now 90 feet away here in the bottom of the third inning. And at bat, senior co-captain Griffin Garabedian struck out in the first. Again, Garabedian's story. Last preseason game got hit. Missed a majority of the season. In fact, all but 2 innings of the regular season. As he looks at a ball outside, count moves to 2-0. But Garabedian laid down the suicide squeeze that won Notre Dame state championship as a sophomore. Had a great junior year, junior summer. Is going to go up and play for Coach McDonald at UConn. Garabedian pulls one high, but foul. Actually might have had home run distance, but a good 30 feet foul. Count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, our crew here doing yeoman's work to bring you this GoGreenKnights.com webcast. Andrew Danik on camera. Michael Curris and Danny Alvarado keeping us on the air and on time and running the scoreboard for you here on GoGreenKnights.com. All under the watchful eyes of 2011 graduate Mike Lano helping us out today. Garabedian fouls that one back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Again, Platt Tech 1, Notre Dame nothing. Bottom of the third here in the CIAC Class L tournament first round. By Notre Dame, 90 feet away, Drew Archiolo, the tying run. Garabedian looks at a pitch outside there. Moves the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bounces one in the dirt. Gets away from Homar. Actually, I think it hit the home plate umpire. Homar picked it up and fired it down to third as Archiolo looked like he was going to be going. But he gets back in time. So now Notre Dame with a first and third situation. Back-to-back walks. Archiolo and Garabedian after the strikeout looking of Ardito. So the Green Knights with a rally going, trying to answer Platt Tech's run that they scored on a 2-out single by Todd Petrucci in the top of this inning. Garabedian, good speed. Greg Zullo, Notre Dame's number 3 hitter, co-captain, in a big spot. Raccio from the stretch. Goes with the curve ball. It doesn't curve. Zullo ducks. Brings the bat with him. Ball is 1-0. He's your number 3 hitter, but back-to-back walks. Zullo wants to be selective here in what he takes a rip at. Zullo fires one down the third base line. Off of the foot of Steve Clark. Archiolo with a good read. He scores to even the game at 1. The ball finds its way to the shortstop, Pinciero, but no play could be made. So a hard single by Zullo. RBI scores Archiolo. Moves Garabedian to second, and the Green Knights not only are even, but the rally continues with runners on first and second and 1 out. Brandon Wynn steps to the plate. First pitch swinging. That's also up the middle. That could be a double play ball. Second to short, no. That's a ball the second baseman needs to take himself and then make a throw. He decided to pitch it to Pinciero. Second baseman is Genovese. He would have better off taking that one himself. Maybe gotten a double play with Wynn running, but instead he'll get credited with a fielder's choice. It does move Garabedian to third. Zullo is out 4-6 for the second out of the inning, so Notre Dame has runners on the corners with Mike Corso, the sophomore right-handed, with a big at-bat trying to grab the lead here with 2 outs in the third inning. Raccio takes a look back over at Wynn. Corso swings through Raccio's first offering, falls behind 0-1. So Platt Tech plates 1 in the top of the third. Green Knights plate 1 in the bottom, looking to get the lead here as Garabedian a couple steps off third, Wynn a couple steps off first. Raccio tries to pick Wynn off. A little bit of a risky play. That ball gets awry. Garabedian's going to scoot home with the go-ahead run. Corso trying to plate him with a 2-out RBI here in the bottom of the third from a rainy Quigley Stadium. Raccio delivers, but high. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Score is also 1-1. A lot of umbrellas looking around the field here. And Notre Dame's Mike Corso, the umpires decided to call the game, so we are back here today, Wednesday, May 29th, starting just before 3:30 Eastern Time, resuming play in Notre Dame's quest to continue their baseball season. Platt Tech has stayed with the same lineup, so has Notre Dame. The umpiring crew today, a little bit different than yesterday. Lou Martelli's behind the plate and John Koshik is on the base pass. Notre Dame, again, Mike Corso will start with a 1-1 count. Mike Raccio will be the pitcher. Griffin Garabedian's at third. Brandon Wynn is at first. First action back underway on a beautiful, glorious, warm day here at the Robert Greenwood Memorial Field here at Quigley Stadium. Those that are familiar with Notre Dame High School, Notre Dame baseball will certainly see the sights of Quigley Stadium that they have seen for, the past 30-so years. Raccio takes a look over Wynn's way. We'll be joined by head coach, football coach, athletic director Tom Marcucci in a little bit. Corso takes a rip at that one, but fouls it out of play. I'm going to scoot myself down here to the left so I can look through the open pane of glass instead of the window, which looks like it was last cleaned in 1974. But the field is ready today. West Haven Park Rec crew did a nice job in getting the field ready so this game could be played. It did rain through about noon. Corso swings one, deep left, but that is going to be caught, tracked down by by Rich Baxter. So Notre Dame does not get the go-ahead run across, and we'll move to the top of the fourth. Still knotted at 1. Thanks for tuning in here on GoGreenKnights.com. Notre Dame baseball looking to keep their season alive. We'll be back with the fourth inning, but we'll hear some words from our fine GoGreenKnights.com sponsors. All right, a little technical glitches as we work out some of our commercials with our sponsors, but wouldn't happen without them, and we'll get to their commercials in the next couple innings or so. One change for Notre Dame. Notre Dame senior co-captain Greg Zullo started the game yesterday. Through 3 innings, did give up a run, 2 base hits in the top of the third. Coming back after 50 or so pitches the next day, not easy, so Notre Dame has moved to Johnny Amendola on the mound. He quickly became the ace of the staff as a junior when Zula went out in Game 2 with a hamstring injury. Pitched well all year, pitched some big spots. The game here against Xavier, which was a hard luck, I believe, 3-2 loss. Might have been 4-3, but it was a 1-run decision on a Friday night up at Palmer Field. Pitched well, deserved a possible win, but Xavier was 19-1 on the year and the 1 seed in the Double L tournament. Also had some big outings earlier in the year against West Haven and some other teams, so Notre Dame going to their number 2 guy, but he was really their ace for the majority of the year with the injury to Zullo. The winner of today's game will play Maloney in Meriden. Maloney did defeat New Fairfield, got a game in yesterday. So they are sitting home having some practice. Wouldn't surprise me if they have a coach or assistant coach here getting a look at the 2 teams combating today, because they will face the winner tomorrow, Thursday. Game will be played at Maloney High School if the Green Knights are fortunate enough to win. The GoGreenKnights.com staff will head up there and bring you second round Class L playoff baseball to you. But the Green Knights going to have to emerge victorious here today first. Again, a busy week on GoGreenKnights.com. Obviously started yesterday with the first 3 innings, almost 3 innings of this baseball game. But on Saturday, we will have the baccalaureate liturgy for the class of 2013. Sunday morning, just before 10 o'clock Eastern Time. That's 7 o'clock Pacific. You could have graduation and bacon and eggs if you're on the West Coast. But the graduation for the class of 2013 will take place Sunday morning, June 2nd, 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Again, probably the funnest yet bittersweet webcast we provide all year as we bid adieu to the class of 2013. Just another stellar class in the great lineage of Notre Dame High School. They will cross the stage in Alumni Hall and get their diplomas. So a chock-full weekend of GoGreenKnights.com, and we're glad you joined us today for this baseball game. Amendola delivers first pitch, strike. Stepping into the box is number 15, Steve Clark. He was hit by a pitch in the second inning yesterday. Tries to get a bunt down, offers. Doesn't get it back. Zulo charging. Amendola was coming down the first base line. Wynn was staying, so trying to get a bunt base hit, trying to get somebody on to lead off this inning for Platt Tech, but Clark can't get it down and quickly falls behind 0-2. High fastball. Clark holds off. Zach Balaban looks down to the first base umpire, John Kushik, who says Clark did not swing. Sean Clark, the designated hitter, will bat next. Then it will be Rich Baxter. That ball is a ground ball to second, fielded by Levine. And Levine gobbles it up. Throws over to Wynn for the first out of the inning. That is another change for Notre Dame. What Notre Dame did in moving Amendola to the mound, what they did was they moved Zulo, who was in the game, to third base. Levine was in the game at third. They moved him to second. Amendola goes into the DH spot, which Bruno will stay in the lineup, batting eighth, and is in for Paulson. So what they did was they replaced Amendola in the pitching spot with Paulson. So Paulson, the second baseman, comes out of the game. Levine moves from third to second. Again, they try a bunt. That goes over the Green Knights dugout. So just to recap those changes, with Zulo coming off the mound, he moves to third. Levine was at third. He moves to second. And Amendola comes into the mound in the DH spot, so Bruno will continue to bat. Amendola fires a fastball by Sean Clark there. Amendola gets ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Set the Notre Dame defense for you after this pitch. As Clark swings through a fastball, 2 quick outs for Amendola. But you have Zach Balaban catching. You now have Greg Zulo at third. You have Zach Ardito at short. You have Mike Levine at second. Brandon Wynn at first. Left to right in the outfield is Mike Corso, Griffin Garabedian, and Drew Archiolo. Lino Bruno in the DH spot, batting eighth for the pitcher Amendola. Amendola dealing strikes, hits the inside corner with a fastball there. Quickly ahead 0-1. I think he's been ahead 0-1 on each batter this inning. Again, squaring to bunt. This is actually a change for Platt Tech, as number 6, Raul Robles, is taking the place of Baxter. He's going to play center field. Robles pops it up to right field. Archiolo camps underneath it. Can of corn out there for Archiolo. 3 up, 3 down for Amendola. And that'll do it through the top of the fourth for Platt Tech. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. Notre Dame will come to bat, all tied at 1 here in the 4th inning at Quigley Stadium. Hopefully we'll have some messages from our fine GoGreenKnights.com sponsors, but be right back for 4th inning action here at Quigley Stadium.
New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at milfordpodiatry.com.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Welcome back to Quigley Stadium. It's the bottom of the 4th inning here on Wednesday, May 29th. If you're used to the golden pipes of Don Boyle, sadly disappointed. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Andrew Danek here, as Notre Dame will lead off the bottom of the 4th with a Mike Levine single. Falls right in front of Jim Curry. Thought he might have been able to get underneath that, but it fell a step or two in front of him, so leadoff single by Levine. Mentioning Don Boyle, congratulations to his son. He's getting married this weekend down in North Carolina, so Don's been down there all week enjoying a myriad of activities leading up to the wedding, so we congratulate both Don and his son. In the capable hands of Mike Lano and Andrew Danek today. Zach Balaban steps into the plate. Archeolo gets a lead. Balaban gets a bunt down the first base line. Does a nice job forcing Raccio to actually make a throw. Just stopped in his tracks. Moves Corso to second, so Zalaban gets the job done with the sac bunt. 1-3 if you're scoring at home, but now Lino Bruno in the DH spot. Have a couple swings, trying to get Notre Dame a lead. Raccio goes with an off-speed pitch. A little bit in the dirt, but catcher Arcangelo Homar blocks it well enough that Levine can't advance. The beauty of GoGreenKnights.com is that we have trained, whether it's an alumni like Mike Lano or a senior Andrew Danek, to get us on the air and on time and do everything we need to do. We certainly miss you, Don, not going to lie. As this ball is popped foul by a few feet. That was sky high. Curry went after it. So did second baseman Angelo Genovese, but it fell a few feet foul, even to count at 1-1. But he's trained these guys so well. Yesterday we had Danny Alvarado and Mike Curris, current sophomore and junior respectively. So while we miss you, we commend you at the same time for allowing us to keep this going this week while you're enjoying the wedding. High and tight there was Raccio. Raccio started yesterday's game, probably threw about 40, 45 pitches. But when you're Platt Tech, you're the underdog. You're 10-10, you're on the road. You probably want to keep your ace out there as long as you can. And from Notre Dame's perspective, Zulo just coming back from a hamstring injury, probably don't want to throw him out there 2 days in a row. I'm sure that was a thought process of Lou Kessler. As Bruno takes a ball low and outside and is now ahead 3-1. This is a count where coaching both of my kids in baseball and softball be yelling out one pitch, one swing. If it's the one pitch you like, take a rip at it. Bruno does it. Skies it to far left, but in front of the 335 sign, able to be caught by Baxter. So Bruno gave it a ride, but wasn't far enough. Levine will hold at second. Second out of the inning, and freshman Zach Ardito, freshman, shortstop. Got a great future. Has a chance here to maybe give Notre Dame the lead. Swings through a fastball by Raccio, falls behind 0-1. Levine at second, getting a 2-out lead. Ball gets away from Homar. Was a ball inside, goes to the backstop. What that does is move Levine over to third. As a former catcher, I'm calling that a pass ball. It did not hit the dirt, just ticked off the glove. That's one that's got to be caught, but Homar couldn't corral it, and Levine moves 90 feet away. Again, if you're just joining us, bottom of the fourth here, Quigley Stadium, Class L first round game. Raccio goes to an off-speed pitch, froze Ardito, hits the outside corner, so now Raccio ahead 1-2. Game was suspended yesterday, resumed at the point of interruption today. The winner plays Maloney tomorrow. Ardito held off there. Little high cheese by Raccio, but Ardito was able to hold off. Evens the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Game tied 1-1. That adds up to 2. That could go inning 4. You divide it by 2. Whole bunch of 2s. Ardito swings at that one, fouls it off to the right. Count will remain 2-2. Lacrosse team also in action today. About to get started down in East Lyme. Took the Route 95 north. Got off exit 75 or so. Ardito looks at ball 3 low. Just low. Raccio wanted that one. But the count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Laxmen, the 11th seed, playing the 6th seed East Lyme. Class M first round game today. Wish Coach Bajoris and crew luck. Ardito fouls this one back. See everyone on the top of the Notre Dame dugout. Today's a day when you're on the rail. Even you look across the other side. Playoff baseball. Everybody's into this one. Payoff pitch coming. Fouls it off again, off to the right. Be the 8th pitch of this at bat. Got to a 3-2 count, and Ardito was able to foul a couple off. Making Raccio throw strikes. Let's see if he can throw another one. Line drive over the head of Genovese. And that's a great at bat by the freshman Ardito. Fouled 2, 3, and 2 pitches off, and then ropes a line drive over the head of Genovese. Outstretched glove to the backside. That plates Levine, and the Green Knights here in the bottom of the fourth strike and grab a 2-1 lead. Youth shall be served. Ardito took over about 5 games left in the season. I think the webcast we had up at Xavier was actually his varsity debut. Biggest hit of his life was right there, giving Notre Dame a lead here in the first round of the tournament. Raccio probably not too pleased about giving up that hit. Thought on the 3-2 pitch, one of them, he thought he might have had him. I think it was the 2-2 fastball. Winds up giving up the line drive single. Goes to the off-speed pitch to Archiolo. I think it was a ball, but I'm hearing some chirping from the Notre Dame side, so that might have been called a strike. I'm not sure. Archiolo looks at a pitch there. I'm going to call 2-0. I think it was a ball. Of course, the only guy that counts is the guy standing behind home plate in the mask and chest protector. But he popped out to the third baseman and walked into third. Scored Notre Dame's first run, which was courtesy of a Greg Zullo single off the third baseman Steve Clark's leg. Ardito is going, picks an off-speed pitch. The ball actually gets by the catcher, Homar. Ardito takes a big turn around second, but he halts there. So Coach Kessler guessed right there and picked the off-speed pitch to steal on. Homar trying to get the throw off, couldn't catch it. It goes to the backstop, so an easy stolen base for Ardito. So now he is in scoring position with 2 outs. And leadoff man Archiolo looking at a 3-0 count. That is, if pitch 1 wasn't a strike. And I think it was a strike because that ball was obviously low and outside, so now we are at 3-1. Should have trusted my gut instinct on that one. 3-1 pitch. Leadoff man, Arciolo. It's going to be a key cog in Coach Marcucci's football team next year. Green Knight's going to open the season playing St. Joe's out of the CIAC. Ground ball right to the shortstop, Pinciero. Low throw, but scooped nicely on the backhand by Petrucci. That'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Green Knights get a run. On 2 hits, Levine scores courtesy of the Ardito single. We head to the top of the 5th. Notre Dame has taken a 2-1 lead. We'll hear from some of our fine GoGreenKnights.com sponsors. When we come back, it'll be the top of the 5th. Notre Dame leads 2-1.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, MD class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information.
GoGreenKnights.com coverage. Mike Levine scores courtesy of a Zach Ardito single. Notre Dame takes a 2-1 lead to the top of the 5th. Notre Dame athletic director and football coach Tom Marcucci now joins us. Helped us out a few innings yesterday, but then had to go perform your AD role with a little rain situation. West Haven Park Rec crew did a nice job getting the field ready for us today.
You know, they really did. The field was wet, and Joe Montagna and their guys came in early, and they got the field in good shape and just still keeping an eye toward the sky with the threat of some thunder coming in, but I think we should be all right.
Amendola, again, trying to get a bunt down, but it's fouled back.
Ardito gave us a little bit of a lift there with that base hit, you know.
Pretty good swing for a freshman.
Right. We're making good contact. We're just hitting under the ball. You know, our guys have to hit the top of the ball just like Zach just did.
Of course, I had mentioned just the last inning, Green Knights football going to start their season at St. Joe's next year with a little FCIAC challenge. Bunt right back to Amendola. He fires over to win. So Platt Tech has tried to do that several times to try to get on base with a bunt for base hit. Homar there bunted it hard and right back to Amendola, and that was an easy 1-3 putout.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this Platt Tech team. Even that last play the shortstop made, they're making the plays, and they're doing what they have to do at the plate. Lucky John looks like he's in a pretty good rhythm. Hopefully we can hold on. We can tack a few on.
Platt Tech turns the lineup over, and second baseman Angelo Genovese singled and struck out in the first 2 at-bats yesterday. Takes a fastball for a strike on the outside corner. But as I mentioned, SEC FCIAC challenge, so you're going to open up at St. Joe's, a team we used to play back in the old ACC. That's a good matchup, you know, with the Catholic schools in close proximity to each other. Good program that St. Joe's has going right now.
Great program, great rivalry. They were in the playoffs last year, and they returned a lot of excellent players. And we open up on a Saturday, which is something unusual for us, but we're looking forward to it. Our guys are working hard, preparing for that game.
Ground out to second, Genovese to his second baseman counterpart Levine, moved over from third on the switch, fires over to Win for the out. Of course, a little extra special, you know, your wife teaches at St. Joe's, has for a long time, so a little extra motivation for you going into that game?
Yeah, she's managed in 30 years at St. Joe's to keep that relationship low-key with Notre Dame, and I imagine she'll do so again. I know she has a couple. I wish a few more football players would take French, and she could, take care of their grades. But,
impact their eligibility, is that what you're saying?
They don't take French, so.
There, that was a little dribbler that Balaban was able to corral pretty easily. Fires over to win, so 3 up, 3 down at about 7 pitches.
Nice.
And Notre Dame is going to take a 2-1 lead. They're going to come up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th for trying to get some insurance runs. Notre Dame baseball, stay with us right here on GoGreenKnights.com.
Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children? Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor, you can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci. Notre Dame baseball Class L first-round playoff game. Notre Dame with a 2-1 lead over Platt Tech as Green Knights bat in the bottom of the 5th. Coach with Greg having a hamstring issue. Didn't want to bring him back on back-to-back days, so Amendola comes out. But Platt Tech, kind of the underdog role, they put their ace right back out there.
Yeah, I think they're letting it all hang out. I don't blame them. I fully expect to see this guy. Normally when you see a 10-10 team, you'll have somebody that's the ace, and he's clearly their ace, and they're going to go with him. Looks like he's battling out there. We have some luxury of some depth in pitching with John, and we also have Troy Terzi and Parker Barnell, all of them throwing well, and Anthony Ravazio. So I think that's one of the advantages we have going into the tournament.
Garabedian hits one off the end of the bat, but that was a cue ball that handcuffed Petrucci at first, scoots by him, so Garabedian's going to get on courtesy of the E3, but second inning in a row where the Green Knights get the lead runner on, that puts a little bit of pressure on the defense.
Yeah, that was an error. Official score, Pete Eiler has that as an error. I thought that's an excellent call on his part.
That'll bring up Greg Zullo, the aforementioned Zullo. Headed to Stonehill College, my alma mater of one of your daughters.
Also Tara Marcucci's alma mater. We have a lot of guys up there. We have a couple guys up there playing football. Justin Willis just got named captain of
good for Justin.
Stonehill football team, I mean.
Garabedian will steal second on the off-speed pitch, so now he's in scoring position for Zullo. Zullo took the strike there. Anthony Masucci, I think you just mentioned him. He's another one.
Masucci got a good chance to start at strong safety, and got a lot of guys up. Christian Baglini, son of George, the coach of Platt, is playing baseball for Stonehill.
Talked to Christian before the game. He's over in that dugout. I kind of said to him, you get a win-win situation today, right? He's like, yeah, I'm torn a little bit. It's not an easy situation to be in as Zullo fouls one off.
No, it's tough when it's your dad. I was saying that it's your dad coaching, and I'm sure if Christian was playing, it'd be a little different story. But coming back, you got to go with blood first.
Oh, no question about it. Baglini made the Stonehill baseball team this year as a walk-on. He was telling me before the game. Had a great summer season with the Milford Legion team. Went all the way to North Carolina as Zullo on an 0-2 pitch gets hit. It's the last thing you want to do as a pitcher.
Yeah, Christian was a heck of a competitor. He was actually an excellent football player. He gave it up his senior year to concentrate on baseball a little bit more, but he can run, tough kid, so.
Looks like Notre Dame will send in a pitch runner for Zullo, again coming off the hamstring. They will send in number 10, Billy Reynolds. Zullo started the game yesterday. Again, we resumed the game today after field conditions became unplayable. Zullo moved to third with Amendola taking over on the mound, but Bill Reynolds will run for him here. Garabedian at second, Reynolds at first. Brandon Wynn will step in, the senior first baseman, cleanup hitter.
Billy Reynolds is a great example of a Notre Dame athlete. He's been on his team for 4 years and role player, hasn't played a lot, but it's always willing to pitch in, do something. got a couple key pitch hits during the year, and just a great young man. He's also going to Catholic University.
And the cleanup hitter, Wynn, gets a bunt down. I'm sure Platt Tech was not thinking the cleanup hitter would bunt, and I'm sure Wynn hasn't done that too many times in his career, but he did a great job there getting the bunt down. Raccio fielded it, slipped, tried to tag him first, but he couldn't. But he was able to throw over to Petrucci and get the out, but Wynn on the sac bunt moves Garabedian to third, and the pinch runner Reynolds to second.
Excellent call there. We haven't been hitting the ball that well this year, and sometimes you got to play that small ball. Normally your four-hitter doesn't bunt, but in this case, I think it's a great move.
I'm going to go back to a Coach Kingsley.
I knew that was coming.
Coach Kingsley reference.
Yeah.
He used to tell us, if your tree hitter's got a bunt, he ain't your tree hitter.
That's right. If the three, you need the three to bunt, make them the 8. But I think at this time of the game, with a 2-1 game, and like I said, we just have not been hitting the ball. And the ones we have been hitting, we've been hitting some long fly balls. And Corso is a fly ball hitter, you know. Get these guys in scoring position, I think is an excellent move.
2-run lead versus a 1-run lead is huge. Mm-hmm. Surprised here that Platt Tech doesn't have the defense in.
I am surprised.
It's getting late
well.
in the game.
Yeah, especially the way Amendola's pitching. I don't expect Platt to have big rallies, but he's got him back. He's got to hit the ball up the middle, Corso.
Garabedian at third, Reynolds at second. Raccio delivers high to Corso. Corso flew out to center in the second, flew out to left in the first at-bat today. He had one at-bat yesterday, one at-bat today. 2-2 count. Fouls one back. Good rip at that one. Looked like he was trying to loft that one to get Garabedian home. Garabedian, great speed at third.
I think Mike Corso has the only home run of the year for us. He hit one against Xavier.
Up at Palmer Field, yes.
Hit a bomb out there.
I'm sure Griffin will be going on any sort of contact to the infield, except if it's back to the pitcher, but Corso fouls that one back. Corso's a sophomore.
Corso's a sophomore. Griff looks like he's got his speed back, which is a key, big part of his game.
Headed to UConn. Won't be coached by Josh McDonald. There's a line drive single to center. Nicely done. That's going to score Garabedian. That's going to score Reynolds on a little bobble by the center fielder. So the small ball works, and a line drive by Corso plates 2 Notre Dame runs, and now a 2-1 lead is now increased to 4-1.
Yeah, that's a great job coaching. I mean, Coach Kez is a veteran coach. He knows what he's doing. Been in the soup a lot of times, and he knows his team, and that's why he did that. He did a great job with it.
Speaking of coaches in the soup that have been there for a long time, the winter teams are going to lose, about 700 combined wins between Coach Palladino and Coach DeRosa?
No question about it. We got some legendary coaches leaving, Hall of Famers, and hard to replace. We heard Jason Shea is set to follow his mentor, and currently in the process of looking at hockey coaches. And
ground ball to short. Pinciero goes to second. You're going to try to turn 2, but Levine is going to beat that out. So Corso is out on the fielder's choice, and Levine will stay at first.
It's interesting. Our RBIs, Corso a sophomore and Ardito a freshman, drove in the 3 runs today.
Balabon, another sophomore, coming to the plate now. Catcher. Just to touch back on that a little bit, you do have a lot of candidates interested, but it will be a new regime taking over for the winter sports teams come December next year.
No question about it. You know, it's a proud program, as you know, as all our programs are. So we've got some excellent candidates, and I'm not revealing anything on this.
No. I'm not trying to get anything out of you. I'm just mentioning the fact that we're losing some great guys and some great teachers and some great coaches all at the same time.
No question about that.
Pitch out on the steal. Throw is to the left side of second base, and Levine just enough speed to beat that throw. If that throw's on the base, he might be out, but it was a little bit to the left of second base, and Levine moves into scoring position with the stolen base.
Those are first-class men, you know, that have both on the court, on the ice, and off have done an excellent job with our guys, and they will be missed.
Balabon takes a ball. Count moves to 2-1. Notre Dame 4, Platt Tech 1. 2 RBI single by Mark Corso. Scored Bill Reynolds and Griffin Garabedian as the Green Knights tack on 2. Some key insurance runs here in the bottom of the 5th. Looking for more with Balabon. Takes that one off the helmet. Gets up pretty quickly. That was dangerous. Hit by pitch. He'll move to first.
I have to think D'Aracchio's getting a little bit tired now, laboring a little bit out there. Doesn't have that same rhythm that he had before.
40, 50 pitches yesterday.
Right.
Bullpen to warm up yesterday. Bullpen to warm up today. A little humidity today. All factors for sure. First thing to go is usually your control, and the first thing that happens is usually the ball goes up, correct?
It goes up. Your stride gets a little longer, and the ball comes up.
Lino Bruno, designated hitter, will step in. He struck out looking and flew out to right in his 2 at-bats. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Bruno takes a good swing at that one, fouls it back, falls behind 0-1.
It's like he's trying to hit everything out. He's got to cut it down a little bit. We also losing legendary Jim Gersha from our athletic department. Man who's been at Notre Dame for 45 years, my partner. He coached football, baseball, and also was a track coach for several years, head track coach, and outstanding phys ed teacher person. He will be missed around the school and definitely on the fields.
No doubt about it. And the thing I always loved about Coach Gersh, and I see it when I walk through the gym now, he's always working with some of the kids that might not be the most athletically inclined, trying to improve their skill. And I've always admired that about him when I walk through the gym and see that.
There's no question. I say he's one of the best teachers, not the best teacher I've ever worked with in terms of that. And it's unusual because he was an outstanding, when I would say world-class athlete in high school and college, 2 sports. And oftentimes guys like that have little patience with kids who can't do certain things, but he had extra patience. I remember him sitting down one day years ago trying to explain the game of baseball to a young man, and drew out the diamond and was explaining all the different things and balls and strikes. And if you think about it, when you try to explain baseball just out of context, it's a tough game to explain. And I thought Gersh was doing a great job until about 20 minutes in. The young man said, "Foul ball," and at that point, Gersh felt that maybe he
had gone a little too far.
A little too far in the explanation. So it was a great story. We talk about it all the time.
Bruno here has a 2-2 count. 2 runners on. Racchio delivers. And that's inside. That also hits some back-to-back hit batsmen. That's going to move Levine to third, Balabon to second. Bruno will move down to first and bring up Ardito, who last inning had the 2-out single that gave Notre Dame the 2-1 lead.
Umpire ruled it hit his bat, but I mean, I've never seen a kid fake it.
Coach Kessler is showing.
Unless it was Derek Jeter. I haven't seen that.
And he is going to call him back. He is going to say that it hit the bat, and it'll be a foul ball, and the count will remain at 2-2. Did hear a little ting, I will say that.
Yeah, there was a different sound.
So the count's going to remain 2-2. Bottom 5, Notre Dame 4, Platt Tech 1. Green Knights trying to add a few extra runs here. Line drive single to left. They're going to send Levine. The throw's coming home. Levine's going to be safe. Balabon trying to get to third, and he will get there as well. So Bruno thought he got hit, tried to go to first. He did the next best thing. Single to left, and a throw by Baxter was not in time as Levine scores. We don't have an RBI single and a hit by pitch any day of the week, right?
Right. That's why, I think that I don't think he would have faked getting hit with the ball, to be honest with you.
We'll take a timeout here. Notre Dame, 1 run in the 4th. They've now got 3 here in the 5th. Coach Baglini's going to talk to his team, see if he keeps Mike Racchio in the game. But it's Notre Dame 5, Platt Tech 1. You're watching Notre Dame Baseball on GoGreenKnights.com.
Good morning, Curtis Ryan. Congratulations.
Hi, Curtis Ryan. I just brought my new Honda in for the first free oil change and they're even washing it. We got such a great deal on that car and everyone here is so easy to work with. Thank you, Curtis Ryan.
For a limited time, your first month's payment is on us. Up to $500 on select 2012 models. Call Curtis Ryan in Shelton for details.
What? Lacrosse?
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Coach Baglini has talked to Mike Raccio and his infield. We're going to be back in action, and Bruno is going to come out, and Chris Stankiewicz will run for him. Bruno getting some high fives from his teammates on the rail of the dugout. Notre Dame with 1 run in the 4th, 3 now here in the 5th. Expanded that lead to 5-1, looking for more. Balaban at 3rd, and now the pinch runner Stankiewicz. As Ardito, who had the go-ahead RBI single, steps into the plate. See if the steal is on with Stankiewicz. 1st and 3rd situation, 2 outs.
I got to think something's on. Stankiewicz can run, so I got to think something's going to happen.
Ardito with a good swing there, fouls it back. Falls behind 0-1. Cross team in action now.
Yeah, it actually starts at 4:30 in
4:30?
East Lyme. We have Jim Gersha, the aforementioned Jim Gersha, and Rudy Raffone there representing the athletic department.
Ardito, hard ground ball. Pizziero gets it over to second base for the force out, but not before. Green Knights tack on 3 important insurance runs. We're going to head to the top of the 6th. Notre Dame in control. Notre Dame 5, Platt Tech 1. We'll be back with the final 2 innings right here on GoGreenKnights.com. For the last 10 years, Federico Insetti has served individuals and business clients throughout the Northeast. Originally founded by Mark Federico, class of 72, the current principals are Michael Federico, Notre Dame class of 82, and Lynn Setti, Sacred Heart Academy class of 82. Providing accounting, tax, audit, and consulting services, Federico Insetti is the perfect company for your personal, corporate, estate, and gift tax returns. A proud sponsor of GoGreenKnights.com, call Federico Insetti at 203-248-9966 for all your accounting needs. New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at MilfordPodiatry.com.
Steve, I should also add in...
All right, welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci, headed to the top of the 6th first round Class L baseball tournament. Game being played over 2 days, but Notre Dame, with 3 runs in the 5th, has grabbed a 5-1 lead. Go ahead, Coach.
As you just mentioned, also, Dick Antonetti, a long-time teacher, actually was a teacher when I was in school. He's that old. Well over 50 years at the school, legendary teacher, and Angela Piscatelli, who ran the office for so many years, are also leaving. So Notre Dame's going to have a little different feel to it next year.
I'm going to add all those up when I do a press release on it, but it's going to be a lot of years that Notre Dame's losing.
A lot of years. Well, Gersh has been there 45, and I want to say Dick has been there 50.
Almost 50.
Yeah, I would say close to 50, and if not 50. As he was there when I was a junior in high school, and that was 1965. So Mike Lano will add that up. That's a lot of years. Mike
Raccio, Platt Tech's pitcher, steps in, looks at a ball, then fouls one back. Set the Notre Dame defense for you. Balaban's behind the plate. Amendola's on the mound. Wynn, Levine, Ardito, Zullo, right to left in the infield. Raccio offers at that curveball in the dirt, falls behind 1 and 2. Outfield left to right, Corso, Garabedian, and Archiolo. Talk about Amendola a little bit. Zulo was the ace coming in, but he gets hurt early. Amendola had to pitch a lot of big games and a lot of big innings, and he kind of grew up this year as a junior.
Well, you know, I would definitely say from seeing so many games this year that John and Greg are definitely 1 and 1A in terms of our top pitcher, because as you said, John was here and he's thrown great all year.
Strikes out Raccio looking there.
He's just what the doctor ordered today too. When you come off of a day like yesterday and you start out, he's just pumping strikes in there and limited the hope that Platt might have to come back.
Todd Petrucci steps in. He struck out swinging in the first inning yesterday. Also yesterday he singled. Actually scored Curry as the lone RBI. Takes a healthy cut there, fouls it back. Does put Notre Dame in a little, I'll say, tricky situation if you can hold on for 6 more outs and get the win today, because you've thrown your 2 best back-to-back days. Now you're going to go to Maloney, who won yesterday, day off today, and you don't have your 2 best pitchers available for you tomorrow.
Yeah, no question. I mean, I don't know what Kess's plans, but the rotation has been Terzi would be next. But also thinking that Zulo and Amendola, if Amendola continues like this, could give you an inning or 2 tomorrow, and then you see what happens on Saturday.
Petrucci grounds out to Levine. One thing Notre Dame has had this year is they've had pitching tests. As you mentioned, didn't have Zulo, but between Ravazio and Barnell and Terzi, along with Amendola, those guys have gotten the team through the season. So
for me, it's the key to the season. We've played pretty good defense, and we've got good pitching, very good pitching. That's what put us where we are. We haven't hit the ball great, but the pitching and the defense has held us together, as usually does in high school baseball.
Amendola fires a strike there as Cutler Pinciero.
I don't think any of my former pitchers are listening in, but they would definitely be thinking that they would, if they pitched yesterday, would definitely be starting tomorrow. You know, a good 24 hours rest is all they need. You mentioned
Mr. Ravazio's father would he would
Ravazio, that guy could take the ball anytime.
Took it in maybe the biggest game you might have ever coached in.
No question. He did, and he was that kind of competitor. But through the years, we've had some really good kids, really good pitchers, competitive, that everybody wanted the ball. No, I don't remember anybody ever telling me that they couldn't pitch, you know.
One guy that I remember my first couple of years at Notre Dame, of course he's a pitching coach at UConn now, but Josh McDonald always wanted the ball. Always seemed to have a rubber arm, and as a sophomore, you know, he won some big games in a state tournament run.
Josh was a character and an excellent pitcher and an excellent baseball man. We used to have constant discussions, and he would always ask me where he fit in all my pitchers.
Pantheon of Notre Dame pitchers.
And I said, you know, in a below-average year, I said, Josh, you would have definitely been our number 4 starter. And Josh didn't like that because, you know, he had himself first in every rotation ever. So, and he's a great kid,
Doing a great job at UConn, and they're headed down to
I'm very impressed.
Play LSU, right?
Jim Penders, who his father is a legendary coach, and we played. You probably played against Jim Penders, and we had some battles with East Catholic through the years, and I'm really glad for him and for the team.
Pinciero grabs a 2-out walk there. Amendola wanted that one, but that'll bring up Steve Clark, third baseman. Jeff Ford was the other star pitcher on that team that won a 2000 championship at Yale Field over at Cheshire.
I remember from that, I think it was the older Mailer, Matt Mailer. I think he had 10 straight hits or something in the tournament. That was a great team. Baseball has been really good here, really good.
And Matt Mailer was an answer. I'm sorry, his brother Brian was an answer to a great trivia question until a couple years ago. But I believe he was the only one to win a football and baseball state championship until your crew won it a couple years ago, followed by the baseball team.
Yeah, he probably was. He won that year. And
as a sophomore, and then won a football championship as a senior.
Several guys did it that year with Sean Goldrich and
correct.
Connor Canary. No, not Connor wasn't there, but Sean Goldrich was on there, and Matt Aaliyah was on there, and got to be a couple other guys that I'm forgetting right now.
Brian Mailer And Connor Canary might have the two sweetest swings since I've started working at Notre Dame back in 1997.
No doubt about it.
Both lefty.
I remember seeing Connor as a freshman trying out, and I said to the guys trying out, I said, that's a little different. It's a little different than the other guys, you know. And they certainly recognized it.
One up starting halfway through his freshman year, just concluded a junior year at Wake Forest. Of course, you coached his dad back in the day, correct?
Coached his dad in baseball, and I was an assistant in football. I was a three-sport star. Cyril Canary played at Boston College football, and then actually walked onto the baseball team as a senior and played. So, yeah, he came from good bloodlines, that's for sure.
Connor, a little bit of a throwback.
Was a throwback. Connor was the real deal and everything. You know, I'd take him any day on any team.
Amendola fires a strike in there, evens the count at 2-2. Notre Dame 5, Platt Tech 1. Little trip down memory lane with Coach Marcucci here.
It's a long memory lane. Yeah, Connor's one of those kids. He wanted the ball. Whether he was playing baseball, he was playing football. He was also a really good basketball player.
Amendola paints the inside corner. Evens the count at 2-2.
It's interesting to know what an outstanding job Pete Eiler does on that scoreboard.
Staying on top of
year
things.
Out, he's an outstanding lacrosse timer.
Clark looks at a third strike later, right there. That was good morning, good afternoon, good night. As Amendola comes back after Clark singled and Pinciero walked, he strikes out the designated hitter, Sean Clark. Gets out of that jam, and we'll go to the bottom of the sixth. Notre Dame in control, 5-1. Stay tuned for the end of this game. Notre Dame baseball on GoGreenKnights.com.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com. Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnight.com coverage. Notre Dame baseball. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci. Bottom of the sixth. Notre Dame ahead 5-1. First pitch swinging is Drew Archiolo, and he flies out to the left fielder, Ryan Baxter. Green Knights 3 outs away from moving on to round 2, which would be tomorrow against Maloney up in Meriden. If Notre Dame does hold on, Go Green Knights crew will make the ride up Route 91 and bring you tomorrow's game.
Good to hear. I'm going to try to make that trip myself. A few things at school tomorrow, but it's good to survive in advance.
That's what May and June baseball is all about.
It's a game really made to be played every day. You know, it's really shows the best teams.
Would you? I'll ask you this. Throw this out from left field a little bit. Griffin Garabedian up 2-0 count. Would you be in favor of when you get to the finals going to a best 2 out of 3?
No, not so much. I would be in favor of good to see him swinging it.
Garabedian with a nice double to the wall in right field. Up against the Ivy. Good swing by Garabedian. 1-out double.
That's definitely nice to see. I was always in favor of really a double elimination, you know, when you got the 8 teams.
Okay. The only reason I ask is because, I mean, the way the current tournament is set up, assuming you go back-to-back, you could pitch your ace on the first round. You can't pitch the second round, but if you get through that, literally one pitcher can pitch the other 3 games.
You can.
And if you get to a best 2 out of 3, now you may not be the best team, but you got to be good to win 2 games over like 4 or 5 days as opposed to just one day.
No, you're right about that. I like your idea. Your thinking is right. I think that it's the one sport, I think, above all, that you don't have to be the best team to win. You know, I know that that state championship team that we had in '85 was an outstanding team, but had teams really just as good that didn't make it.
Zulo lines one to center, and the center fielder Robles tries to make a one-hop play. He doesn't get it. Zulo's going to meander into second. Garabedian's going to score, and Notre Dame adds on an insurance run, and they now lead 6-1.
The 2 sharp hits. I think Raccio has kind of run his course. I give him a lot of credit, a lot of heart out there.
We'll keep it here as we talk about that. But you mentioned, you could ride one pitcher for basically 4 to 5 games, and if you got a stud, that's tough to beat. Whereas if you get to 2 teams and it's best 2 out of 3, now the better team may have a better chance to win.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, you mentioned that year we actually had good pitching depth, but it turned out that Dominic Ravazio pitched 4 out of 5 games. I think one was in relief, but he pitched 3 starts. And I remember a couple years back, Tommy Lawrence
from West Haven.
Yep. He pitched every day. Mm-hmm. He pitched every day, and he was one of those kids that could do that. And I think you get a better feel for the teams. It'd be somewhat controversial. I'd say you have to win at least 50% of your games to make the state tournament, and then once you got down to 8 teams, have a bracket and double elimination. It might last a little longer, but I think then the best team would come out of that.
Mm-hmm. I would absolutely support that, and the tournament's fine the way it is, but
right.
You're always kind of maybe looking for tweaks. There's actually talk of Division I hockey possibly making some changes and going to a best 2 out of 3 finals format. I don't believe that passed going forward.
No, I don't think 2 out of 3 would be good enough. But the same thing, and I know in Massachusetts they have the Elite 8 in hockey, and
which is a double elimination tournament.
Double elimination, you play, and usually the best team's going to come out of there. I just think that it makes more sense. It's just a situation where in baseball it's just a different kind of a game, and it's unfortunate. I didn't realize that. I was kind of looking at the brackets today, as we all look at the brackets, and Wolcott was 19-1, and they get beat by Granby, who had to play a play-down game. They were 34, so they beat the 31 team or whatever it was.
So they had to be 8-12.
Yeah, they were, and they played a play-down game. They won that, and then they beat a 19-1 team. So I got to imagine that Wolcott, after a 19-1 season, and believe me, we've been there.
Yes, absolutely.
Had a 20-2 record and didn't go beyond the quarterfinals or even to the quarterfinals. And it's, you say, was that a bad team? Was that a bad season? It wasn't, but it seems like it because of the tournament.
And I know Wolcott had a great year, and the NVL is good baseball, but in the one-and-done nature,
right?
That's probably a little bit of bitter pill to swallow.
I think it's really bitter because, I don't know what the Granby situation was, but they played a game prior to that. You always can get a situation where an 8-12 team has an 8-0 pitcher.
Yes.
You could always have that happen.
Notre Dame has another pinch runner in, and that's Zach Korwak. He moves to third. Platt Tech has replaced their pitcher Raccio with Genovese. They just swap positions. Raccio moves to second. Genovese comes to the mound. He bounces one to the plate. That moves Korwak to third. Brandon Wynn skies one. Short right field. And Raccio is able to get it. That's a major league pop-up right there.
Yes, it is. And I won't say anything because I hate those pop-ups. Hate pop-ups.
P4 in the book. Second out of the inning. That'll bring up Mike Corso. He had a
big hit.
Big hit. Two-run hit, which gave Notre Dame a 4-1 lead back in the fifth.
I have a baseball expert that lives at my house that is a firm believer in first pitch hitting. Firm believer in. She was coaching my grandson John. Telling him to swing at the first pitch, and Johnny hit his first home run last night, and it was on the first pitch. So, excellent coaching at home.
Like grandfather, like grandson, right?
No.
Corso offers it one there, and Fouls it off. 1-1 count. Bottom of the 6th. Notre Dame 6, Platt Tech 1. CIAC Class L tournament. First round action here at Robert Greenwood Memorial Field at Quigley Stadium. Winner advances to play Maloney tomorrow. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci. And that's a line drive that's going to hit the gap in left center. That's going to score Corwick. And Levine's going to hop into second with a double. Corso, hops into double. He's got 2 hits in his last 2 at-bats and 3 RBIs. Green Knights swinging the bats a little bit, now lead 7-1.
Yeah, I like to see this. You know, it looks like no game is completely safe, but see these line drives here is makes you feel good going into tomorrow, because I think tomorrow we're going to have to hit it.
What do you think the mindset of the players were? You know, we won 1, Platt Tech coming in today. What do you think the guys sleeping last night were thinking, leaving the field 1-1 third inning, in a game, quite honestly, you should win.
I don't know. I don't know if kids even think about that, but I know I talked to Coach Kessler a couple of times and went through all these scenarios of double steals and delayed steals, and I said, you certainly got enough time to overcoach this one, But it worked out, I guess, and
Mike Levine steps into plate, 2-0 count. Notre Dame 7, Platt Tech 1. Genovese bounces one to the plate there, and that's going to move Corso over to third.
We got some fans in Massachusetts listening in. Mike Marcucci. I think he's supposed to be working, so I'm not going to say too much. And his mom is listening.
He's probably got it on the computer while he's studying some legal briefs.
That's right. Mike used to take the ball quite often
yes, he
in
did.
high school, and then when he finally got some good coaching in college, was an outstanding pitcher.
You're not giving yourself enough credit there.
No, I'm telling the truth.
But it holds some Harvard records, appearances, and things like that?
It sure does, yeah. It was all Ivy, academic all Ivy, and I think he still holds the record for most appearances. I always tell him it doesn't say most good appearances, just says most appearances. But, yeah, quite a career up there.
Levine fouls that one off. Made the NCAA tournament a couple times.
Yes, they went down. In fact, saw him play against LSU and Cal State Fullerton and Tulane down there. It was a great experience. During those years, Harvard beat UCLA, the #1 team in the country. They beat Miami. They had quite a baseball program there.
He struck out? What major leaguer did he strike out?
I think it was Pena from the DH from. He played for Northeastern.
Okay. He's played at Harvard. Did they play at Fenway with the
played in the Beanpot tournament? I saw him play in the Beanpot tournament against UMass. BC was there, and the first year I believe it was BU. I still had baseball.
Okay.
And then Northeastern came into it. Yeah, it was quite a thing going to Fenway to see him play.
Yeah, I can't imagine the thrill. I think we got a balk called here against Genovese, and that's going to plate Corso with Notre Dame's 8th run, 7th on the day. Again, this game started yesterday, suspended because of poor field conditions, was tied at 1. But the Green Knights have gotten 1 in the 4th, 3 in the 5th, and now tacked on 3 more here in the 6th. Lead 8-1. Genovese there.
Yeah, it looks as though Raccio is probably their ace, and Genovese's coming here struggling a little bit.
Zach Balaban due to bat, but just looking at the Notre Dame roster, looks like number 23.
Yeah, he just was added. It's Lipinski is his name.
Okay, Evan Lipinski?
Yeah, Evan Lipinski.
Sophomore.
He's on the tournament roster. I might have put the wrong number down for him, but I didn't realize it was 23, which is the AD's mistake. But that's who Evan is. That's who's up right now, Evan Lipinski.
Blame your secretary for that one.
I hope he's on the roster that Coach Kess gave him.
Notre Dame 8, Platt Tech 1.
Hate to see the game played under protest.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. We don't want to come back for day 3 of Notre Dame Platt Tech.
No, exactly.
Lipinski down the left field line, right over the third base bag. That's going to get to the corner. He's going to get a stand-up double, and that's going to move Levine to third. So Lipinski's second pitch swinging. Laces one down the third base line, puts 2 runners in scoring position. For Lino Bruno, designated hitter. Struck out, fly to right, and singled. RBI single in the 5th. So Lipinski, pinch hitting for Balaban. Gets himself a double.
Try to get an update up from East Lyme where Coach Raffone and Coach Gersier are.
Bruno first pitch swinging, laces one to right. Going to get another RBI single there. That's going to score Levine from third, and the Green Knights now lead 9-1.
Only problem is Coach Raffone with the texting is struggling. Last time he did a lacrosse game, he texted me very faithfully. However, he was texting it to my home phone. And could not understand why I didn't get him. So hopefully he...
I believe Coach Raffone still has the flip phone where you got to hit like 3 times to get to the letter C.
Well, I think he's got a good phone.
He's got a better phone? Okay.
He used to have a rotary phone on there, a cell phone, with a party line, but he's getting a little better.
Of course, you do realize that probably half of our listening audience don't even have any idea what a rotary phone
that's
is.
That's true. I'm just talking to the ones the 3 people that do.
I love going over to my grandparents' house just because I can still, I still dial my home phone just to show my kids how it works.
Yeah, then nobody knows how to do it. It's like asking a child or a student to tell time on a clock that's not digital.
They don't know how.
Yeah. Or read cursive.
Ardito with a good swing. Is that going to find a gap in left center? No, it's not. It's going to be caught. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning, but not before Notre Dame adds on 4 runs. And they will take a 9-1 lead to the 7th. Platt Tech down to their last 3 outs. See if Notre Dame can get those 3 outs and advance to tomorrow's 2nd round. But not before some fine commercials from our great GoGreenKnights.com sponsors. Stay.
Considering an orthodontic treatment for you or your children, Dr. Philip Caparuso, a Notre Dame parent of 4, is conveniently located at the end of the Milford Green. Dr. Caparuso is a board-certified orthodontist and a preferred Invisalign provider. A proud GoGreenKnight.com sponsor, you can visit Dr. Caparuso online at drcaportho.com or call 203-874-5400. Let Dr. Caparuso bring out your best smile.
Good morning, Curtis Ryan. Congratulations.
Hi, Curtis Ryan. I just brought my new Honda in for the first free oil change, and they're even washing it. We got such a great deal on that car, and everyone here is so easy to work with. Thank you, Curtis Ryan.
For a limited time, your first month's payment is on us. Up to $500 on select 2012 models. Call Curtis Ryan and Shelton for details.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com. Steve Kirk, Tom Marcucci. Notre Dame leads 9-1, 3 outs away from moving to round 2, which would be tomorrow at Maloney High School up in Meriden. If Green Knights get 3 outs here, we will, our crew will pack up and head up 91 North to Maloney High School to bring you tomorrow's games. Green Knights make a pitch and change, take Amendola out, bring in Parker Barnell.
Parker's done an outstanding job this year. Another one of those guys that senior, and he's paid his dues through the years here, and he does whatever it takes to help our team, and I think it's great.
Get him some tournament experience. Could help down the line. Of course, Greg Zulo started yesterday's game with a hamstring injury earlier in the year. Didn't want to bring him back, so Notre Dame's 1A ace, Johnny Amendola, came in and shut the door down, but with a 9-1 lead, maybe try to save some outs and pitches for either one of those guys tomorrow, I imagine you probably can get an inning or so out of each of those guys if the situation warrants. Barnell starts the inning with a strike.
I think Johnny Amendola didn't throw that many pitches either. Just that one inning, they got a couple guys on, basically 1, 2, 3. So I'd say he's 40 pitches maybe.
Raul Robles flies out to Garabedian in center for the first out here in the top of the 7th. Again, the lacrosse team is in action now. If you stay tuned to Notre Dame's Twitter feed at Notre Dame WH, we'll send you a halftime and final score. Hopefully the Green Knights can move on to round 2. Of course, they're playing on the road at East Lyme. Green Knights are ranked 11th. East Lyme is 6th. East Lyme out of the ECC.
Now, who does that tweeting?
That would be me. Coach Bajoris.
How do you get it? Oh, he sends
Coach
it to you?
Bajoris, his girlfriend.
Yeah, Rochelle?
Yep. She texts me at halftime and final. And then immediately start typing on the keyboard. So we'll get that updated this afternoon.
Well, I'll try to, if Coach Raffone ever finds his phone and is able to text, I'll try to forward those over to you.
I appreciate that. Arcangelo Homar, Platt Tech's catcher, number 9 batter in Barnell.
Should really give a shout to Coach Raffone and yourself and Don Boyle for putting this Go Green Knights together. It's just an unbelievable advantage, and these kids that get to see themselves on video and every game they play is something they're going to cherish.
Well, we appreciate that. It was an idea hatched by several of us, and can't happen without our sponsors. So, for all the guys that sponsor us, that were playing their commercials, if you need any of their services, by all means mention that you saw their association with GoGreenKnights.com, because this doesn't happen without their financial support. Homar bloops a single in front of a hard-charging Corso, so a one-out single by Homar here in the top of the 7th. But the numbers are amazing when we track everything, and when I kind of do a report at the end of each season, the viewership that we get and the states that wind up tuning in is somewhat amazing. Barnell gets to the top of the order with Angelo Genovese. Actually, looks like Jim Curry is now batting. Might be one batter behind. I think that was Genovese that actually singled. It was.
It's a scrappy team, this Platt Tech team. It's a little different level competition that they played during the year, and it, kind of showed in the second day. Yesterday, actually, looked a little shaky to me.
And with the weather, bad bounce, mud here, you never know what could happen. That's the funny thing about baseball.
No question about it. No question about it.
Notre Dame came back today and got the bats going. Again, took the lead. An RBI single by freshman Zach Ardito, 2-1 in the 4th. As Genovese fouls that one off, then added 3 more in the 5th. Big hits by Lino Bruno and Mike Levine, and then 4 more in the bottom of the 6th. So certainly something to build off from swinging a bat perspective for Coach Kessler headed into tomorrow.
No question about it. It's a good feeling that, they were line drive hits. In the beginning we were kind of popping the ball up, but we got some line drives, some gappers, and seeing Garabedian and Zulo back-to-back there really made you feel good that bats are coming alive just when we need to have them. There's always that game in the tournament where you need to score some runs to win the game.
Green Knights will be at a slight disadvantage tomorrow. Again, Zulo pitched yesterday. Amendola today. Maloney has today off. Ground ball is going to be fielded by Levine. Throws to win. And that will be the third out. I missed it out somewhere. We were having so much fun talking and reminiscing. But Notre Dame.
I was going by the scoreboard, and Pete had 1 out, and I thought that was be perfect. But there was 2 outs.
There was 2 outs, and that was 3 outs. So Notre Dame is going to advance. Again, 1 run in the 4th, 3 runs in the 5th, 4 in the 6th. Take a 1-1 tie going into today, and they come away with a 9-1 win. They will move on and play Maloney tomorrow. We'll be back with a quick recap, but it's final score, Notre Dame 9, Platt Tech 1. Keep it tuned right here for a quick recap. Notre Dame Baseball on GoGreenKnights.com. Thank you.
For the last 10 years, Federico and SETI has served individuals and business clients throughout the Northeast. Originally founded by Mark Federico, class of 72, the current principals are Michael Federico, Notre Dame class of 82, and Lynn SETI, Sacred Heart Academy class of 82. Providing accounting, tax, audit, and consulting services, Federico and SETI is the perfect company for your personal, corporate, estate, and gift tax returns. A proud sponsor of GoGreenKnights.com, call Federico and SETI at 203-248-9966 for all your accounting needs. New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates specialize in medical and surgical care of the foot and ankle. They have a state-licensed surgical center with a physical therapy center available for all patients. Physicians include Notre Dame graduates David and Robert Novicki, along with Martin Pressman, James Krantz, and Jesse Parks. They are affiliated with the 3 major New Haven area hospitals, and they participate with most health insurance carriers. With locations in New Haven, Hamden, Milford, and Ansonia, New Haven Foot Surgeons and Milford Podiatry Associates is your GoGreenKnight.com connection to healthier feet. Visit them online at milfordpodiatry.com.
Ivy League Landscaping is a family-owned, full-service design and build landscape company which services Southern Connecticut. We offer digital landscape design and installation. Our interlocking concrete paver system will add beauty to your patio and walkway. We share our location with our own Soundview Landscape Supply. Please visit us at 50 Industry Drive in West Haven. Ivy League Landscaping, from custom design to seasonal maintenance and supplies. Visit our website at ivyleaguelandscaping.com.
Many times bad things happen to good people. A car accident, a divorce, a loved one is arrested. Things you just can't prepare for. Zingaro and Cretella specialize in civil litigation, family law, and criminal defense. A leading New Haven and Fairfield County general practice law firm established in 2001, attorneys Gene Zingaro and Don Cretella, ND class of 1986, who thankfully is a much better lawyer than it was a receiver for me, will guide you and help you make an informed and rational decision in a difficult time. Visit them at www.theconnecticutdefenders.com. Zingaro and Cretella is a law firm you can trust.
As Network Group, we are committed to offering simple and meaningful solutions to your complex problems. We work hard to achieve the highest levels of quality in our solutions to help your customers meet their challenging business needs. We're committed to delivering technology management solutions that offer security, reliability, availability, and performance. Visit our website, thebusinessnetworkgroup.com, for more information.
Welcome back to GoGreenKnights.com coverage. Steve Kirk, Mike Lano, Andrew Danik with today's productions. Thanks to those guys for keeping us on the air and on time. Special thanks to Coach Marcucci for joining us. Kind of a trip down memory lane. I respect the man so much. I could literally just talk to him for hours. The stories he has are just awesome. Just a Notre Dame institution. But Notre Dame today emerges victorious. Round 1, Class L baseball tournament here in 2013. Game started yesterday with Platt Tech, was suspended with a 1-1 score, but the Green Knights got the bats going, got a run in the 4th courtesy of a great at-bat by freshman Zach Ardito. He wound up with a line drive single that scored Mike Levine, but not before Ardito had worked a 3-2 count, fouled some off. It was probably the 8th or 9th pitch of the at-bat, laced a single over the second baseman's head. Levine scored, and Notre Dame led 2-1. Green Knights really got the bats going in the 5th, plating 3 more runs with some key hits from Mike Corso and Lino Bruno, and then 4 more in the 6th to increase the lead to 9-1. Griffin Garabedian with a double to center. Same with Greg Zullo. Mike Corso with a double that scored those guys. Evan Lempinski came in and got a double also, and Notre Dame tacked on 4 more runs. Johnny Amendola came in. Platt Tech really didn't threat. They did get 2 runners on in the 5th, but other than that, not much of an offensive showing today for Platt Tech. Amendola relieved Zullo and got the job done. Parker Barnell came in to pitch the 7th, and the Green Knights emerged victorious with 8 runs today and move on to tomorrow's second round at Maloney with a 9-1 win. 9 runs, 11 hits, no errors for Notre Dame, 1 run, 6 hits, and 1 error for Platt Tech. Notre Dame improves to 14-8. Platt Tech ends its season at 10-11. None of this is possible without all of our sponsors for GoGreenKnights.com. You saw their commercials throughout the broadcast here, but New Haven Foot Surgeons, Ivy League Landscaping, Zingaro and Cretella, the Business Network Group, Caparuso Orthodontics, Curtis Ryan Honda, and our friends at Hamden, the accountants, Federico and Seti. They brought you today's action, as they have with all of GoGreenKnights.com webcast all year. We will be back tomorrow from Maloney High School with Notre Dame's second round play in this 2013 Class L tournament. Notre Dame and Maloney will face off. First pitch scheduled right around 3:30. We will be with you tomorrow with the webcast of that. Good luck to the lacrosse team. They are just started down in East Lyme in their Class M first round game today. And of course, later on in the week, we will bring you the highlight of the academic year. Notre Dame's Baccalaureate Mass on Saturday, June 1st, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time from St. Rita's Church. And then the commencement exercises on Sunday morning, starting just before 10 o'clock, as the class of 2013 receives their diplomas. For Andrew Danik and for Mike Lano, we will bid you adieu. The final score for the final time: Notre Dame advances to tomorrow's second round against Maloney with a 9-1 win here over Platt Tech at Quigley Stadium. Until tomorrow, good afternoon, everybody.